All right, y'all. Today we're going to check out, see if this boudoir photography business has BSS for its local Google search, West Pasco, Washington, or see if it has it for its city search, Tri Cities, Washington. So we're back here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the number one boudoir photographer in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, pinned post, pinned video somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. And as a result, we got our FSIC graph here in white. We got way on the left, we got the highest intent peeps, the peeps searching for boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And when we're dealing with these types of peeps, we're making videos about BSS, or at least having these peeps come to us. And the lowest intent peeps way over on the right, we got so we talk about those peeps at our sister brand Boudoir FB Ad at Doctor, where we're talking about BLCS. Currently over there, we're only working with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS, boudoir search sameness, is when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. And when this happens, if we got 0 slots page 1 on Google, it means we're on page 2 or deeper. We already know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. And as a result, we're invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace. Our business is dying fast. Also, 1 slot page 1 Google, not good enough. That ain't good enough. It's because everyone else is going to have 1 slot on Google as well. So there's 10 organic slots. If everyone has 1 slot, guess what? We look the same as everyone else. We're not special. We're not looking special. We're not standing out. And guess what a buyer's doing? Well, guess what approximately 80% of buyers are doing? They are clicking every single boudoir photography website, filling out every contact form, getting a quote from everyone, compressing prices, negotiating, getting the best price for them, just wasting our time, waste. And dude, and then it's like, at max, we're probably bringing in 10% of the people. And so, just real, real big waste of time. So this means our business is also then dying slowly. Now, 0 1 slots on page 1 Google is actually not normal. It's a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And so it's common and it's accepted, but it's not normal to have such a few number of links page 1 on Google search. And the 2 deeper root causes that are causing that are A, market saturation, and B, the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, yeah, that's more peeps getting, over time, more and more peeps actually increasing, become boudoir photographers, get new gear, get new iPhones, get new cameras. Then they're thrown up the Google My Business profile saying they're now a boudoir photographer. They got their boudoir website saying they now shoot boudoir photography. They're posting the mom groups on Facebook saying they now do boudoir photo shoots. And more boudoir photographers over time for the same number of buyers makes it harder for every other boudoir photographer. Next, we got the false belief of page 1 equality. This is a new one. Most people don't know about this. When boudoir photographers basically kind of didn't really think about it. It's kind of automatically accepted that every boudoir photographer gets either 0 1 slots page 1 on Google search, which is 100% incorrect. And I know that because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search in only 10 days. But boudoir photographers have auto accepted this, where they actually, let's say they got their website ranked number 7 page 1, and then market saturation happens, and they actually, they're position 2 on page 2. And as a result, they kind of just accept it. They're like, well, I hope those new peeps delete their website and Google stops indexing them. So then Google can be nice and put me back on page 1. But no, that's not how it works. We can actually take as many page 1 slots on Google as we want. So this leads to people not even thinking it's possible. They get more slots, so they don't even look for a solution. They haven't kind of broken out of that mental jail, that mental box. Now, a boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness, is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Remember, 0 1 slots on page 1 is boudoir search sameness. So if they got 0 1 slots on page 1, that means they're on page 2 or deeper. Yeah, dude, their business is dying fast. Disappearing boudoir photographer, they're on page 1. They got 1 slot on page 1, their business is dying slow. Now they're being compared to, they're 1 out of 10. They're being compared to all the other boudoir photographers. Everyone else has got 1 link. And as a result, their business is dying slow. Both situations, though, a disappearing boudoir photographer, it's basically the canary in the coal mine, kind of the red flag, the flashing warning light. telling us that the boudoir photography business itself is on the path to disappearing. But thankfully, we now have a solution. We've discovered that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. And as a result, I mean, it works exactly as it says. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. And when that happens, it's kind of like we think of it as the snow on the top of the Andes Mountains down in South America. The snow on the backside of those mountains, the east side. When that snow melts, what actually happens is it flows into streams, small streams, and to small rivers. And it actually all flows into the massive Amazon River. That Amazon River, everything flows into, that's page one Google search. So, but it all starts with saturating social search, showing up there for those highest intent boudoir buyer searches on social. And when we do that, that's the snow on the top of the backside, the east side of those Andes Mountains that we need. Everything flows. Everything happens because that snow's there. Everything happens because we execute SQ methodology correctly. And what's interesting about this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that actually gives them a chance to still grow their business in the face of massive market saturation, and it gives them that opportunity in a relatively quick time frame. And that is because, well, the only other solution I've seen provide that same benefit grows in a still able to grow in a or the chance to grow in a saturating more and more saturating market. It's having a large, well-known brand. But dude, that does not satisfy our as fast as relatively quickly criteria. It's actually you know it takes like 5 to 10 years to do that. But guess what, dude? We ain't got 5 to 10 years. AI is here taking people's jobs right now. So we need a solution that allows us to get results or gives us a shot right now. And the interesting thing about SQ methodology is actually my estimates is as we do it, as we run it, and we're doing so much more frequency across so many different search surfaces or different surfaces, my estimate is it enables us to build a brand approximately 8x as fast as traditional methods. So it's kind of like helps us build up that brand fast. I mean, imagine if you got a large well-known brand and you're still utilizing SQ methodology. I mean, dude, you're essentially unbeatable then in your area. Now, an example for SQ methodology, right now we are heading to, all right, we are going to go to Boston, Massachusetts. And let's say there's 1 million boudoir photographers in Boston, Massachusetts. And with those 1 million boudoir photographers, we're one of them. And everyone's got their website saying they shoot boudoir, all competing for page one Google search. And we ain't got no large, well-known brand yet. So our only chance of growing here, literally our only chance, basically we had zero chance before. But now we got one chance, is to utilize SQ methodology. And let's say we do it all the way to the max, like maximum ability. Let's say we're able to take the first 300 slots of social search, and we're able to take those, and those flow on to Google page one search. And let's say we're taking the first 300 slots on Google as well for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. And when we take those, we are actually, basically, we are actually that's taking the first 30 pages on Google. So essentially, a boudoir buyer would have to scroll down to page, slot 301 in social search, or would have to go to basically Google page 31 with Google search in order to basically find any of our boudoir competitors. We already know 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So who the heck's going? Dude, who is going to page 31? Basically no one. So in this scenario, whose business is still growing? Most likely ours. Whose business is dying / becoming invisible / declining? Most likely all of our competing 999,999 boudoir photographers, because they are not utilizing S-cubed methodology. And so this is, kind of an ultra example of what S-cubed methodology, could allow at like the most extreme end. Now, once treated with S-cubed methodology, we now have page one visibility, P1V. Initial benefits, yeah, we get more slots, page one Google search, and every new slot we get page one on Google search, we are actually kicking another boudoir photographer, competing boudoir photographer in our city off of Google search. And a lot of boudoir photographers actually like this initial benefit the best. So we can actually we can basically control who is on page one, which of our competitors are on page one of Google search for which keywords. We can relegate all those that we don't want on there, to page two or deeper if we put in the effort to get as many page one slots on Google search, as Google will give us. Now, page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. And this is where the GPC universe recommends having minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page one Google search, because if everyone else has one slot on page one of Google search, then what actually happens is us having 3 slots, we actually look, we're dominating them. Everyone else got one slot, and the ultra rare chance other peeps got 2 slots, then we're still dominating them as well. So 3 out of 10 slots is the minimum that GBC Universe recommends. And a boudoir photographer with BSV boudoir search visibility is a visible boudoir photographer. So we've got our full universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with BSS boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. And we finally found the solution to S-cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. All right, now onto my results utilizing S-cubed methodology. So I started with having 0 out of 10 slots, page one of Google search. And let's see what I got for the organic slots here after utilizing it. So we got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So in only 10 days, utilizing SQ methodology, I went from 0 out of 10 slots, page one Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots, page one of Google search, and these are the results that I got. All right, so main event here. I'm going to see if this boudoir photography business has BSS for the local search and the city search, these 2 Google searches. All right, so let's look at West Pasco. So it's the local search. So let's see what we got. Going down to organic. So here we go. We got 1. Boom, we got 2. Let's see. Boom, we got 3. Boom, we got 4. All right, so we got 4 out of 10. Awesome. So we do not have BSS for our local search, and we do meet the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10. Good. So we've kicked off a bunch of competitors from our search here. So that's local. Let's search at the city level. Same Tri-Cities, Washington. Check this out. Boom. All right, we got 1. That's a sponsored. Nice. We got 2 right there with the threads. Nice. We got 3. All right. Boom. This is perfect. This is exactly what we want. So we do not have. So going back. So we do not have BSS for the local search. We do not have BSS for the city search. That's super awesome. We've hit the GBC minimum for both. So I can basically guarantee this business is not disappearing. So they're either treading water or most likely growing, because they're hitting all the metrics we got to be hitting for the highest intent people. Those are closest to the money, easiest to convert. So perfect. This is exactly what we want to see. That's what every boudoir photographer needs to get to. Well, for those that want to become the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. So if you are a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've done your local searches, your city searches for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, and you saw you either had 0-1 slots on Google page one for at least one of those searches, or you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page one Google search for at least one of those searches, and you've accepted the false belief of page one equality is exactly that, a false belief. So now you freed your mind to actually look for a solution to take as many slots Google page one as possible, and you're realizing, wow, S-cubed methodology, perfect. That's the only solution for me. It's exactly what I've been waiting for. You're liking the initial benefits, more slots page one Google search. You actually doubly like the second initial benefit, kicking competing boudoir photographers off page one, making them invisible to approximately 8% of the market by putting them on page 2 or deeper. And you're also looking ahead because you understand market saturation. You're like, wait, AI is taking more peeps' jobs right now. Last time that happened with COVID, tons of new boudoir photographers enter the market. So you're already understanding way more boudoir photographers going to be entering the market as AI gets better and better, takes more and more people's jobs. And you're realizing that you not only need these slots, you got to fortify your position on page one by having actually so many links that Google wants to rank on page one, but you've already taken up so many slots that Google actually starts putting your page one worthy links and filling up page 2, 3, and 4, because you realize you actually need to essentially prevent all your other competing boudoir photographers currently in your city from ever ranking on page one, and definitely prevent any of the future boudoir photographers that come after AI takes their jobs from ever ranking on page one. So you realize, and you actually got to fortify your position there. And as a result, you're saying, okay, how do I get so many links in a short time frame to actually achieve this? And you realize, okay, SQ methodology is the only solution to do that. You also understand SQ methodology is building up basically these invisible thematic keyword columns, plugged in, attached to your brand, and kind of like in the back end, cyberspace and the internet, attached to your brand name, business name, website name, your personal name, all your social handles, and there's a big cloud of who you are. And we're building up this like back end AI keyword mindshare, all plugged into this, cloud of your brand and who you are. And every day we build up, add more and more columns, fortify, build those columns out. It actually increases the probability we are recommended here as the one premium option for AI overview and search, which is the most premium placement, and we cannot buy this with ads. And you also understand in parallel to increase the probability that the chat, the AI search apps, AI chat apps actually increase the probability you recommended there too. ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot. You understand that? Okay, higher chance you'd be recommended there. Last time I searched for a boudoir photographer in a city, there's a ChatGPT recommended me 3. I then went and did manual searches on Google and Facebook, and I found about 60 of them. So we definitely need any possible way to get recommended this AI search. And what we found is the highest probability solution that provides that is, again, SQ methodology, because it's building up these invisible thematic keyword columns. And so you're liking all those feature benefits. You're also liking future benefit of SQ methodology. Can help you build a large, well-known brand approximately 8x faster than traditional methods. That's a cool feature benefit as well. And you understand that my current plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city. So you actually like that you can get all these benefits and prevent all your competitors from getting these benefits, enabling you to build up kind of this large, massive back end, this large gap in links that are out there that Google wants to rank on page one, and also these future kind of this back-end AI keyword mindshare momentum for all these AI chat systems and AI overview recommendations. And you've decided because of that, you're going to be the first mover, first one in your city to adopt this, because you understand the converse. If one of your competitors were to sign on with me first, they would actually get these benefits. They begin all these links and backup links throughout page 1, 2, 3, 4. They would be kicking you off page 1 to page 2 or deeper, making you invisible to approximately 80% of the market. They'd be, basically building up this back-end AI keyword mindshare, massive gap between me and your competitor and you. And so for you to compete, you would actually have to increase, or first you'd have to rederive SQ methodology. Well, actually derive it for the first time. And once you did that, you would then have to actually execute it every day, equal to us. And if you did that, then you're simply maintaining the gap because we're executing every day as well. So the gap is remaining the same. And so for you to actually make any progress, you'd have to double or triple our output to then start pulling that, back-end AI keyword mindshare momentum away from me and your competitor, back to yourself. And again, you would never be 100% confident you've even derived the system correctly in the first place. And so it would hard to be even put in the effort to outwork us 2 to 3x. And after all that, you realize, and screw that, I ain't got 80 hours to do all this, worry about all this stuff, 80 hours per day. So you decide you're simply going to be a first mover in your city and just not miss out on this opportunity, and simply, simply go first so you don't miss out. So if that's you, shoot us a DM. The hospital is currently closed for new patient intake, so DMs are currently closed, so you cannot work with us even if you wanted to. But when the hospital does open for new patient intake, shoot us a DM and we will see if you qualify for utilizing our S cubed methodology.